hot new handbag for summer isn't a Chanel, a Prada, or a Dior. It's actually an IV bag.
Yep, you heard right, an IV bag. So here to discuss this popular and yet controversial new health and beauty treatment is cosmetic surgeon Dr. Lantz. Now, Dr. Lantz, really, IV bag?
Yeah, you know, the only problem with this being the next new it bag is that I'm not sure you can find shoes to match with it.
Trust me, Lola can.
Well, it does sound like some Hollywood hocus pocus. So walk us through exactly how this works and why is it so popular all
Absolutely,
of a sudden?
and this is something that I'd love to discuss. First of all, if we all lived in a completely natural environment and ate completely natural foods, we probably would not be having this conversation.
Okay.
So this has arisen from problems with our environment and our food sources. We really should be gravitating towards just healthy diet, healthy living. But we do live in urban centers, most of us. We're exposed to a lot of toxins. So anytime there's more toxin, there needs to be more antioxidant. So it's really just meeting the challenge of today's modern and stressful lives.
Okay, so how exactly does this work and what are the health benefits?
So basically, we just put IV vitamins into this IV bag.
Okay.
And a patient can come into the office and they'll just sit down in a relaxing chair and we'll start an IV and the vitamins are going directly into their system. Now, the advantage of this is that we can give much higher doses than you could absorb from your gut. And if you're behind on your nutritional status, if you don't have enough vitamins in your body, this is a great way to catch up. The problem is most people have some sort of vitamin deficiency. We don't really realize it. But the diet that most Westerners have is very calorie rich, but it's nutrient poor. So this is a good way to catch up. And the other concept is that when people are really high functioning, this is where the celebs come in and the high powered executives, when they're really high functioning, most people don't realize that vitamins get consumed during stressful periods.
Is that right?
So this is like turbocharging your response to stress because you're using your vitamins and you're going to use it faster than you can take it in by your diet.
Now, you mentioned some of the celebrities, and do you think that has helped it grow in popularity? Because I know Madonna talks about doing it, Simon Cowell, Rihanna, and they even tweet about it. They're sharing their experience. Do you think that has led to the growth in popularity?
It's absolutely drawn some attention to it. You know, I don't want to have it distract from the medical benefits of it. You know, this is a really good therapy for people who are vitamin deficient. So while it can get caught up in a trend, it's a bona fide therapy for people who need it, who are nutritionally depleted.
So how long does this therapy take? And do you automatically start to feel the results like, doo, 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 I'm better, this is great. Like as soon as it hits your bloodstream, you're like, let's go, take the world.
I'll have what he's had.
Exactly. Well, how long does it take to see the benefits?
It's very simple. We usually run it pretty slowly, so about an hour to 2 hours.
Okay.
Most people will come in, catch up on emails, you know, do some readings. Sometimes I have students who, when they're working really hard for finals, they'll come in and they'll study while they're getting IVs.
While they're getting their IVs. Okay, so we also hear it's really popular with athletes as well as finance people on Wall Street. Does it give them a competitive advantage?
Again, it's just super levels of stress. And when you're a competitive athlete, your body's under constant duress.
That's true.
I mean, those guys, they're all day long. And unless you have the perfect diet, you're not going to be able to keep up with that.
Now, people who travel a lot say these drips stave off sickness and it boosts their immunity. Do you think that's true? Have you seen that in your practice?
When you do travel a lot, you're exposing yourself to a lot of people all at once. You're on a plane contained with hundreds of people. You're getting a lot of viruses presented to your body. When you're getting high doses of vitamin C, for example, your immune system is going to be really running and going forward, so it'll help you to fight off those illnesses.
Now, one of the more popular concoctions is called the Myers cocktail.
Myers cocktail.
I'm guessing there's no rum in there.
Can't get tipsy through your IV?
Exactly. So what exactly is in this Myers cocktail, and what are the health benefits?
Now, Dr. Myers started this in the 1960s, so this is an extremely proven IV. And thousands upon thousands of people have received the Myers cocktail in studies, never had any side effects whatsoever.
So what's in the cocktail?
It's high doses of vitamin C
Okay.
and several different B vitamins. So we have B12, B6, B5, B1. B complex, trace elements. It's basically letting you catch up on all the things that are consumed by stress.
Okay.
That makes
Vitamin
sense.
C and B vitamins are used a lot from stress.
And if you get those vitamin B and C, what do you see? What's the difference in
You know-
your performance at work or just how you function in the world?
Most of my patients say that they feel really great the next day. Some people tend to say that they feel calm. So people have different responses, but you cannot take away from the fact that when you're giving IV vitamins, now you have vitamins in your system. You know that they're in there.
Okay.
And the problem is that sometimes we have inflammatory digestive. I don't know if you're familiar with irritable bowel syndrome.
absolutely, yeah.
Some people have diseases of their gut. And when you have a problem with
Celiac
the
disease, all of those things.
Exactly.
Yes.
When you have a problem with the gut, also when you're eating processed foods, your gut tends to get inflamed. Well, guess what? It's harder to absorb vitamins with an inflamed gut. So we're now coming to this vicious cycle of we're eating processed foods, our gut's getting inflamed, now we're going to try and eat healthy, but our gut's a little bit too inflamed to really work well. So it's catch-22.
So do some people have custom mixes? Like, do they say, oh, I want the strong juice, or I want the, the energy drink juice?
Some people always
How
want
does it-
something custom, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you go about
Just for
determining how
me.
many
Just for
vitamins
me.
they have in each mix, like what their mix is made up of?
Well, IV vitamins are great for treating migraines. People with asthma, IV magnesium is very good for. Chronic fatigue syndrome. So when somebody has a condition, I'll certainly adjust for that condition. Other people really just say, I want just the vitamin C. It can be a little bit personal, but
Do you examine them beforehand and determine what their deficiencies are?
absolutely. It's important. This is a medical treatment, so it's important to have a relationship with a doctor who knows who you are, who knows your medical history, knows what medications you're on, if any, and can be responsible.
Yeah.
It's not something that you should just get at the mall.
Yeah, Dr. Lantz was very strict about that because I was in the green room like, come on, doc, just give me a drip, give me a drip. He's like, no, you have to be inspected. I got to check you out first. This is serious. So I was like, okay, it's a real, it's a real
Next
treatment.
next time.
So next time
We'll do the
my
full
physical
thing.
and everything
Yeah.
first.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, how often should you have this done? Because I've heard of some people doing it weekly. Do you recommend that?
I'm pretty conservative. I don't think you have to do it weekly. A lot of my patients come in every couple weeks, every month. I have a lot of patients that only come in the winter. They know that they get a really bad flu every year, so they want to just kind of, gear up for that. So some of my patients I only see a couple times a year. That's fine. It's really personal preference. If you're super busy executive, maybe a little bit more. If you're just somebody who's just trying to give yourself a little bit of an edge,
Yeah.
every few weeks.
Now, you charge anywhere from $150 to $250 per session, and some of your peers charge as much as $1,000 per session.
Yeah.
Isn't it easier and cheaper to just eat better, get some sleep, and
Abs-
work out?
Absolutely. That's what I
Okay.
was going towards in the beginning of the conversation. We really do want to emphasize healthy diet and healthy lifestyle. That's really the best option. But if you can't keep up, this is a good alternative.
Well, what about critics who say, you guys are just snake oil salesmen, these things don't work, they're just a great way to make money quickly. You stick an IV in their arm and you walk out with $1,000 in your pocket.
I don't charge $1,000.
Okay, well, you walk out with $250 in your pocket.
To those people, I would say, take a look at the deficiency of the person who's being treated. If you don't have vitamins in your body, that's not compatible with life. You need vitamins to be alive. All vitamins, if there's a deficiency, there's a disease associated with that deficiency. So I don't want to have any of those diseases, and I don't want any of my patients to either.
Well, what about some people that say that these people aren't really feeling any different, mind over matter, that it's just psychosomatic, that they're just thinking they are, you say I feel better, so yeah, I feel better.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to the levels of vitamins which you can test in the bloodstream. So you can't really argue with that.
Okay, good test and
Okay.
find out. Okay, so how safe are these drips?
Yeah.
Are there any side effects? Are there anything that could harm someone in these drips?
These are the building blocks of life. So if
In
you don't,
that bag right there.
Yeah, IV vitamins. So we need vitamins, we need amino acids, we need proteins. Without these things, you are sick. With these things, you are not sick.
So
So
how-
you cannot have a reaction to a vitamin.
So how different are these than the regular IV drip that you get when you go to the hospital for anything that people go?
Well, in a hospital, they might be giving you antibiotics or
Okay.
other kinds of medications. These are vitamins. These are natural. But I want to leave your audience with something that if they're not going to get IV vitamins, and that is you should look at your food. And vitamins have color. You can see that there's some color here. Look at your food. You should be eating all the different colors. grapes are blue, melons are orange or green. That means there's all different kinds of vitamins. So you should be eating a spectrum of color. If you're eating a spectrum of color, you're getting vitamins in your diet.
That's great. Is this FDA approved?
It's not FDA approved, but neither is oxygen.
Neither is
Oh, wow.
Touche, touche.
Well, let's get to some fun stuff before we go, because I've heard that if you have a little rough night, especially because, 4th of July is right around the corner, if you have a rough night, drink a little too much, get a little tipsy, you can actually go and get one of these, and it'll help you overcome your hangover. Is that true? Come
I will
on.
tell you that some of my patients come in with sunglasses on, but it's not something I'm going to recommend. I don't think you should party the night away and then use it as a rescue, but it is what it is.
But you're saying it does work. Okay. He's like, oh, come on. Okay.
Now, really quickly, you've also said that it can be a complement to chemotherapy. Is that indeed true?
Cancer patients who are getting chemotherapy, the chemotherapy will absolutely destroy the vitamin levels in your body. So in that situation, I work closely with the oncologist, and I say, you tell me when you want your patient to have the IV vitamins. We don't usually try and interrupt a cycle of chemotherapy. It's kind of a situation where you want to give a rescue.
Okay.
So the person goes through the chemo. It's very, difficult to do, and then they come in once that's done, and they'll get some IV vitamins, and that absolutely helps people feel better.
So, Dr. Lantz, how can we find you?
Well, I'm on the web, and you can just look at whatistemcelltherapy.com. I
Okay.
do stem cell therapy, adult stem cell therapy as well, and that's it.
All
Okay,
right.
we're going to come get the Myers cocktail.
Yeah.
The
Rum not included.
Get that on the rocks.
A double? A double?
A double.
Yeah, have a
We'll do
double.
double.
Yeah. You got it.
Deal.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
It's a
it.
pleasure.
You're watching Arise Entertainment 360.
Music is important to me.